Here it is. This is my cold plunge. I just kind of finished setting it all up here under the table. Now I'm gonna give you an overview of it. Give you an idea of what it takes. Here's the tub. This is a Rubbermaid tub, 100 gallon. This is foam, spray foot can foam. I flipped the tub over while it was empty and go around it and spray foam or can foam. A few layers, let it dry, do a few layers, let it dry, do a few layers, let it dry. I've done the whole bottom, which was like a big grid. Anyways, it's all insulated. And then I bought this 2.5 inch foam board, and I flipped the tub upside down on the foam board, traced it out, and then I measured a couple of inches inside of that, because obviously you've got this, and I cut this out. Now I used some string and some extra hose that I had, a couple of washers on the back side, but you can see I cut this, and now this is my lid for my tub. Then I took some can foam, I put oil, I used motor oil, you can probably use olive oil, but this whole tub was empty when I did this. I oiled up all of this edge, and it prevents this can foam, the foam that comes from sticking to it. So then you put your purple piece in, or your big lid, you put it in here while this is oiled, and then you can, put some all around the edge, and that creates a nice tight seal all the way around the edge. So that's the lid. I do keep mine sitting on some pieces of foam. There's two that run all the way under there. The middle of that's kind of hollow, allows it to breathe. Any condensation gives it a chance to dry out. Looking inside the tub, on the side that has the port, I tightened that port because it was leaking. And before you get everything running, you need to do a water tightness test and check all of your plumbing. But here is a port that I put in. They call this a bulkhead flange. And here's another one on this side next to that UV light, which is a bulkhead flange. You might get yourself a thermometer and the UV light. That is a pond sterilization UV light. That's what it's for. It helps keep the water sterile. Keeps it clean. So, coming down here, I've got this table I made. I am not getting into that with you. You can put your stuff however you want, wherever you want. But I just got done organizing all this, tidying up my cables over there. And I've got three, as you can see, 3 cables. I've got them set on a timer. This timer is really useful. Mine's set so that this thing runs while I'm sleeping at the coolest part of the night, because this is your chiller box, and it produces a lot of heat while it's cooling all of that water. So from one of those bulkhead flanges on the back side, water comes in, and the water goes out. I've got my pump mounted right in here. Let's change this. There we go. So there's the pump mounted. Water flows in here to the pump, and then let me get a better angle. There's the pump. So this is water in from the tub, and then water out right here, which pushes right there to the filter. It runs through that Y. So this is the water coming from the pump and then running right here to the filter. I've got this Y in here so that way I can drain it splits off to this, so I can just close those valves right there, that one and that one, close that one and open this one, and I can have the water pumped before the filter. It will be pumped straight out of here and out my water hose outside my garage. Now the Y right there, as you can see, comes here into the back side of the filter, comes into my filter housing right here, in and out. And then it goes from there to my chiller. Now the chiller has 2 ports. Either port works fine. It just goes into a cavity. One is in an in or an out. The filter housing has an in and out. The pump has an in and an out specifically. I did use this 45-degree elbow. They look like these. And I used 5/8 inch tubing here. Looks like that. It's this stuff. 5/8 inner diameter tubing. Here's the pump I bought. Here's the UV light I bought. The chiller is not really branded. It's some kind of knockoff cheap brand. I saw some company advertising it. There's the info on that. That's the chiller. Some company was rebranding it and selling it for their own. This pump just happens to be a Lowe's special. I probably paid too much for it, but it is just a small, oh, let me get you this size. Can we get that size? There it is. That's the numbers on it. That's the filter. All right. So fixtures, or I guess all your connecting pieces are 5/8, and then these are the pain in the butt to find, because your pump, your filter, your chiller, and your tub all have different connections, fittings. So I would have to look into all that if you wanted the specific parts, but you're gonna need some of these right here, which are unions, that brass part, and then this is a 90-degree elbow, you see, that goes from that union to the 5/8 barb. It's pretty simple. It's all hose clamped, right? You can see the clamp right here. These are just cheap, small worm clamps. You can see there's 3 right here. That's what I used to join everything. That Y valve I had to get on Amazon. You won't find that at Lowe's or Home Depot. And then the hose, I showed you the hose type that I used. And then this is insulation. You want to insulate your hoses because when you if you don't, you end up getting a ton of condensation. And the insulation is this stuff. It's like $5 for a 6-foot piece of that. And it's got these yellow things, so it's sticky. And when you peel this off, it's really super sticky behind here. So cut it to size, put it on your thing, and then peel your stickies off and join it. That's the overview. This thing will keep this tub. It's important that your tub is well insulated, or you'll get a ton of condensation. Condensation is kind of a big problem. Another tip, and just remembered this. So this is my filter wrench. Slides up over the filter, so I can remove the filter housing and change the filter. But put some copper in there, inside of the filter housing, whether it's inside the filter or outside the filter. Water's constantly flowing through here, and copper, you might see some other videos on YouTube or wherever explaining how copper keeps algae from growing. So it helps with the sanitation. So I bought the filter and the filter housing separately. The filters are just carbon filters. They look like these. I bought a 2-pack of them. See if there's a sticker. No sticker, but that's all it is, carbon filter. And that's it. The chiller will get that down to 50 by tonight, tomorrow. See, it's at 66 right now. It's been running for like the last hour and a half, 2 hours. I started at just around 80 degrees. So it's working its butt off. That's it, man.